Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimize FPL. We are going to be taking a look back at my results, see where I went right, see where I went wrong, and taking a look at next week and see what I'm going to be looking at. Let's go. Okay, getting straight into things, let's look at Game Week 2's results. We got Sanchez and net, 6-pointer, very nice. Seeing that Brighton got the clean sheet, it's always a nice thing to see. It's a really tough game against Newcastle for Brighton, so I was really surprised they got to keep the clean sheet, but I'm happy they were able to. It was a very, very tight affair. Either team could have scored, but I'm lucky and happy that Sanchez got the clean sheet. Moving on to defense, Trent got 3 points. Cancelo with 11 points, a fantastic game for him. Reece James getting a goal for 7 points, and Andy Robertson getting hauled off in like the 62nd minute, getting just 2 points. So let's talk about the Liverpool defense first. Very, very disappointing. I mean, Trent somehow getting a bonus point for not getting anything is ridiculous. He's literally the bonus point magnet. This is why you always have him in your team. He gets 1 assist in that game, and he gets all 3 bonus points, and all of a sudden he's going from a 2-pointer, or I guess a 3-pointer, to getting, what is that, like 9 to 10 points. So Trent Alexander-Arnold is ridiculous. Cancelo as well. He got an assist in the Bournemouth game, and he got all 3 bonus points. He also got a clean sheet. Cancelo and Trent are some of the goats of FPL in defense. Anytime they get any points, they're gonna get or they're gonna get bonus points. Reece James doing a decent job. He got a yellow card, which is a little bit annoying, so probably hurt his bonus point potential. But he also got a goal, so that makes up for it a little bit. Not getting any bonus points, which is unfortunate. Or I think he might have gotten 1, but it could have been a lot better. Robertson, what can we say about him? He hasn't really done a whole lot. Him and Diaz connection is just not there right now. He's still creating lots of chances, don't get me wrong. He could have probably gotten an assist or two if he was a little bit luckier. But yeah, Liverpool's defense has just been really, really bad at the back. I mean, they're conceding goals like nobody's business. Like, one of the best things about Robertson and Trent is not only their attacking potential, but also their defensive potential. And if they only have the attacking potential, they're not worth the 7 million. You can get attacking potential from someone like Trippier, from someone like, I don't know, Cash, who have very little to not very much, or a low amount of clean sheet potential, but still have lots of attacking potential. Robertson and Trent, where you get the value, is from both. So hopefully Robertson and Trent can turn that around. Again, I'm hoping Manchester United is a little bit more of a less scoring game, or at least Manchester United don't get their shit together before the game starts, because that would really annoy me. Moving on to our midfield, Neto with 3 points, very annoying. Salah, lucky for us, we didn't captain him, so I mean, 2 points is actually good for us because he had over 100% effective ownership. Saka getting 2 points as well, very annoying, and Bailey getting 1 point. So let's go through this. Neto getting no goals against Fulham. I mean, not that surprising. Neto is just like, he's a 5.5. You'd expect him to maybe get like an assist or a goal here and there, but you kind of hold him and you just kind of let him sit there. He's fodder, right? He's not supposed to be like your Salahs, your Cancelos, or your Sakas, which I'm going to get to in a second. Yeah, so 3 points. I'm actually all right. I'm pretty happy with that. Salah getting 2 points. Again, like I said, good for us because we didn't end up captaining him. We captained Haaland instead. So his effective ownership, I think, was like 130%. So him actually getting points would have hurt our rank. But yeah, obviously you want your players to do well. Salah getting 2 points against Crystal Palace is a bit of a worrying one. But when you watch the game, Salah had lots of opportunities to score. He probably should have gotten a couple of goals. So I'm not too worried about that. Saka is someone that's been very, very annoying. I mean, Martinelli's scoring in both games. It's just like, what can we do as Saka owners? Do we drop him for Martinelli? I don't think that's the right move. Saka, according to a couple of statistics that I've seen, has one of the highest potential like returns for a goal out of all the Arsenal attackers. So I think just time will eventually get there. Saka will get some points. I'm hoping it's next week against Bournemouth. Yeah, let's move on to Bailey. Bailey, what can we even say about this guy? I mean, he's not even playing anymore. He got benched last week against who was it? I can't even remember. I can't even remember who they were playing at this point because it sucks so much for us. But yeah, so Bailey getting benched. He's got Crystal Palace coming up next, but like if he's a bench option at 5 million, I don't have anything. I don't have any money in the bank. I don't have an extra free transfer, so I have one free transfer. I'd have to take a hit to get him out and upgrade him, or I can downgrade him to De Silva, but De Silva is not guaranteed minutes either. And then there's also the fact that Bailey could potentially play next game. Anyways, we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's move on to our forwards. So in the forward line, we have Haaland and Jesus. Like we said, we captained Haaland. A very, very annoying Haaland. I mean, he could have gotten a goal if Foden was not so greedy. Haaland getting a goal there, and my decision to take out Kane to Haaland looks much better, but because he didn't do that, we got a net zero return on our investment. So it is what it is. But I think Haaland is still good for the next couple of game weeks. Jesus going absolutely freaking bananas in that game against Leicester, getting 2 goals, 2 assists. He looks absolutely fantastic. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. He looks fantastic. Moving on, our bench: Ward, Neto Williams, Andreas Archer. Nothing too special. Neto Williams getting 7 points. I might actually play him next week. I think he looked pretty decent against his opponent, West Ham. He's getting a lot of up and down, but yeah. And Leicester's goalkeeping, it's a worrying. 4 goals against Arsenal. Arsenal are a really good side, don't get me wrong, but it's still worrying. So our expected points for game week 2 was actually only 63.3. We actually estimated our expected returns. We are actually now, for our expected returns compared to our real returns, it is 0.2 off. So we almost have the exact points that we were expected to get. So the expected points calculators are looking pretty good. They're getting pretty accurate, it seems like, at least for my team. Let's see what next week has in store for us. Okay, let's go. Game week 3 selection. Starting in net, we've got Ward. I think that the Leicester goalkeeping situation has a better chance of keeping a clean sheet against Southampton than Brighton have against West Ham. So, West Ham, I think, are going to be pretty upset that they didn't score against Nottingham Forest. I think they're going to want to try to get out there and score. And Brighton, don't get me wrong, are a very, very solid defensive unit. But I think Leicester's just could be a little bit better. I'm not planning on playing Ward basically until my next wildcard in Game Week 8 after this. So it's probably going to be the last time you see this guy on the team. But, yeah, I think that he's still a good option for this week. Up next, our defense, we got Trent Alexander-Arnold, 4.7. I mean, it's pretty good considering it's Manchester United away. Manchester United is still a good team. Cancelo, 4.8 expected points. I mean, not surprising. We're not really expecting Newcastle to score against Manchester City. Manchester City are just always likely to keep a clean sheet. When they don't, it's unexpected, but it's usually 1 goal, so nothing too big a deal. Up next, we got Reece James, 4.8 points. I mean, he's going against Leeds, so I think that he could do really, really well in that game. I think they might be a little bit less. They don't need to keep Reece James as right center back, so one of the reasons they kept him there was because Son was on that same side. So I think next game against Leeds, they're probably going to play Reece James up in that right wing back spot. I think he's going to do really well there. Up next in our defense, Robertson, 4.3, very similar to Trent. Looking decent for that Manchester United game. I'm looking forward to it. And a new boy into our starting 11 is Neto Williams with 2.5 expected points. I mean, they're playing Everton away. I could see Everton scoring, don't get me wrong, but I think Nottingham Forest looked decent as a defensive unit, even though they definitely should have conceded against West Ham. But I'm still liking them for this game week. Moving on to our midfield, we've got Salah at 6.1. He's looking decent. I could see him doing really, really well. He's still a captaincy option for me. I just haven't decided who I'm going to captain yet. But right now he's at 6.1. I'm liking the look of him. Saka, 4.7. He needs to get some returns against Bournemouth. If this guy does not get returns against Bournemouth, I don't know what I'm going to do. I always have to keep him for Bournemouth and Fulham, but it's just going to be so annoying if he doesn't get any returns in those 2 games. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And this is where things get a little bit tricky. We got Bailey and Neto. So Bailey and Neto, very, very similar expected points, only 0.6. But realistically, who do you expect to get more points? Aston Villa's Bailey against Crystal Palace or Neto against Tottenham away? I don't see Neto getting any points in that game. I see him getting a flat 2. I know it says 2.6. I personally, from what I've seen from Wolves, I'm seeing him getting a 2. So Bailey, although he has a 2 expected points, I still think that Bailey could probably do more damage off of the bench against Crystal Palace than Neto can do an entire game against Tottenham. I know that's crazy, and I'm probably going to be shown up to be wrong, but I just think that Neto is a worse option than Bailey. Right now, Bailey's in my squad, but that could very easily change. Up next, Haaland and Jesus, 5.6 and 4.7 respectively. I mean, 4.7 against Bournemouth is really low for Jesus. I expect him to get at least a goal. Bournemouth looked really bad, so I expect that. Haaland against Newcastle, I think he looks really good. I'm looking forward to him. I think that he could get some points here. I'm really hoping he does. So yeah, let's see who our captains are this week. So like I said, I'm still between Salah and Jesus. I'm putting my back on Salah. I think he's probably the best option. 6.1. I mean, you can see he's head and shoulders above everybody else for expected points. So. But he always is because it's Salah. So Moving on to our bench, like I said, Sanchez obviously on the bench because he's not in the starting 11. Neto or Bailey are going to be first on my bench. I'm still not sure. Andreas, he does have a good fixture against Brentford, but I just think Brentford are better defensively than Crystal Palace. No, I don't actually. Maybe I don't believe that. I don't know. I just think that Andreas is not the best option for this game week. I think Fulham just don't look that amazing. Like they do good, they did look good against Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, but they can't play like that every single week. It's not possible. They're not going to have that energy and that motivation to play like that every single week. Archer obviously last on the bench. Expected points 53.9. It's going to be a low one this week. Not unsurprising. Lots of away fixtures for a lot of high value players. As you can see in comparison to last week, a lot of our players have a lot less points that expected than they did before. So I'm not really too scared about it. But yeah, this is what the team is looking like. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Who should I start? Should I start Bailey? Should I start Neto? Should I start Andreas? Should I start Sanchez? Please let me know. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please feel free to like and subscribe. And like I said, leave any comments about my team or your own teams, and I'd love to answer them. Thanks so much. Cheers, everybody.